Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who is not a newborn babe.
And I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who has become American.
Hello, Seth.
Hey, how's it going?
You know, after work today,
Okay.
I made the mistake of laying down in between recording. I get off work at 5, and I was like, oh, I'll just lay down before 5:30. And I should never have done that. And so at 5:20, I got up and I had to sing the Perk Me Up song.
What is that? I'm sorry, what is that?
You know, it's just like a little perk up. It's time to perk up. Michelle, you got a podcast. Perk up. Percolator like coffee. Michelle, perk up. And so forth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that I know that now.
What you didn't need to know,
My perk up song is
Seth is slapping his cheeks.
slapping my cheeks,
Now he's slapping his forehead.
slapping my forehead. It's the biggest landing zone on my face.
Yeah.
So you're feeling a little sleepy.
Well, it's just I should have never laid down. I just have to keep going. And then when I'm done with all of the things in the day, then I can relax. I don't know why I chose. And I was just, catching up on text messages and stuff.
Sure.
And I was like, oh no, why did I do this?
So you're a little Michelle Sleepy Masala.
Hey, when you spell Mississippi, do you have to say it out loud? Mississippi?
I don't have to because it's easy to remember because you just remember that there's two of everything.
Right.
But after I spell it, I will in my head go Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We saw each other this weekend.
We did.
This was a big weekend.
It was a huge weekend.
This was a big movie friends weekend. My wife and I came down to Long Island, picked you up at the crack of dawn.
I mean, it was 7:15. That's not the crack of dawn. Let's not be dramatic here.
That's the crack of my dawn. We picked you up and we did the final in-person interview. Well, just the final interview, the final anything for the documentary that I've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the concept of name dropping. Why that's bad. If I'm telling a story about someone, I have to say who it was.
Right. I mean, you're not doing it to be like a braggadocious babe.
I would do anything to be a babe, including name drop.
As I said, you are not a newborn babe.
Right. Anyway, we went to the great one and only Alex Goldman podcast journalist extraordinaire.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat for an interview and it was lovely. He was lovely.
Lovely.
So nice.
He also was the recipient of the first ever 5-star Chum Award.
Yeah. We presented him with the Movie Friends 5-star Chum Award.
Yep.
Which is, Michelle thought we should give him an award. And we, as Movie Friends, the entity, we should have an award, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He accepted it graciously.
He hung it on his fridge.
And then we robbed him.
Naturally.
Yeah. So Michelle and Jean came with me to assist in the interview. It was great because I've done so many of these by myself. It's always awkward because I'm always showing up places sweaty with like all this lighting equipment, mic equipment. And then you're trying to like make small talk with people. And it's always been people that I admire from a distance.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you. Hi, I'm really sweaty. And now it's going to take me 45 minutes to set up all this stuff by myself while you stand there and watch me. So it was great. And then there was some confusion as to some of the items in his home belonging to us. And so do the interview. We're all like, that went so well. This is great. Hooray. We drive about an hour and a half away and we get a text message. Hey, did you happen to take my remote? And Michelle and I went, oh, no.
Oh, no.
So we went out and looked through our equipment, and I had to respond and say, not only did we take your remote, we took your headphones.
Whoops.
Other than that, we spent a lot of time writing our narrative feature that we're looking to start filming this year. And you were like, we should start telling people about this. And I was like, yeah, we should probably, right?
Well, I mean, should we start sharing more about it? Like behind the scenes stuff. I don't know. Are people interested in that? Like we keep saying it, like, oh yeah, we're writing a movie. And it's like, well, what does that actually look like? And when I tell people in my private life that I'm doing this, and then they ask what page am I on? And I tell them and they respond with, whoa, like, oh, she's serious.
What page are you on? Is this a common?
I don't know. I've gotten it a couple of times, but when I say what page we're on, people react with, "Oh, she's serious. Oh, this is like serious." That's impressive.
It's anything but serious. I can tell you that.
Well,
but
I think we're 55 pages in, 56 pages in.
Yeah,
and people seem to be impressed by that. And I'm not asking for you to be impressed by that. I'm not saying that for you to be impressed. It just shocks me or surprises me that that's the follow-up question.
Yeah.
Did we get any emails?
We did.
Email.
We got 2 emails. First one, subject line is 2026 goals. And it says, hello, Movie Friends podcast hosts Michelle and Seth, who are talking film without pretension. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I have 2 movie watching goals for 2026. 1, watch all of the DVDs and Blu-rays that I own but have never seen. This list stands at 92 films as of today and includes such classics as Boyhood, Goldfinger, Tora Tora Tora, and Transporter 2. I think some of those are classics. 2, watch all of the movies discussed on this here podcast. I reserve the right not to watch all the ones included in the new release review category, but I'll probably listen to the episodes anyway. Yours most sincerely, Skylar.
Wow, Skylar.
Skylar, I gotta say, I love hearing from you.
Yeah, same.
And I love these 2 goals. 1, I also own a bunch of movies that I've never watched. Nowhere near 92. But that would be a good goal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, following along with the show, that's beautiful. That's the best thing Michelle and I could ask for.
I love to hear it.
It's funny, though, because Skylar sees way more movies in theaters than I do. He's going to have seen all the ones that we cover for new release reviews. But thank you, Skylar.
Thank you, Skylar.
Michelle, have you thought about a movie watching goal for you for 2026?
I have. I'm keeping it secret right now.
Oh, a secret goal.
Mm-hmm. Not everything has to be shared.
That's right. Next email, subject line, are you ready for this? Twilight Eclipse.
Oh my God. Twilight just keeps on giving, you know?
The email says, 30 Days of Night is so good. And I think I had said on that episode that I would watch it. Still haven't watched it, but I will. I hated the actor change for Victoria. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Seth's reaction to the vampire baby dying almost made me spit out my drink. I agree with the punching Jacob talk, and then they sent an Italian emoji, hand emoji.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can kill newborn vampires because their skulls aren't fully developed.
Oh, okay.
Now, listener, if you don't know what we're talking about, in Twilight, a newborn vampire is just anyone who's become a vampire recently.
Right.
Up to a year, right?
Yes.
Like real newborns.
That's right.
P.S. I like these movies, but the lack of vampire canon drives me insane. P.S.S. Vampire emoji. P.S.S.S. I'm kind of sad that there's only one more of these to listen to. This was way more fun than I expected.
Oh, wow.
Well, This email's from Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
And I just want to say, Ben, there's 2 more to listen to because we did Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2 separately.
Right, but the last film in the series.
But it's not the last film in the series. It's 2 films.
Yeah, but it's... Right, but like the last, I guess, conclusion.
Right.
To the series. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. We also love hearing from you.
Well, thank you, friends. We love to hear from you. Send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts. Here's a slight little call to action. I mentioned that I'm watching Big Brother, but I'm also watching Tell Me Lies, which is on Hulu. Season 3 just came back.
Is this a reality show? Is this a game show?
This is a drama. And my goodness, if you know, you know, it is back in full swing. So if you watch Tell Me Lies, send us an email and we can talk about it. It's in the final season. Okay, moving on. We're continuing with Denzel month, chosen by our patrons. And this week is my pick, and I chose Mississippi Masala from 1991. I have never seen it before. You have never seen it before.
Totally new.
And originally, my pick for the month was going to be Remember the Titans.
Yes.
And then I was inspired by you for picking Mo Better Blues. One of our patrons, Rashawn, said that was his favorite movie.
Yes.
And we've had Mississippi Masala suggested to us from our patrons. So I was like, I'm going to continue on trend. So that is why we were discussing this one this week. Mississippi Masala was directed by Mira Nair, written by Suni Tarapavala, edited by Roberto Silvi, cinematography by Edward Lockman, composed by L. Subramaniam, costume supervisor, because there's a lot of different people who worked in that department, Sharon Davis. And Sharon Davis actually is the costume designer for next week's film, which we will talk about at the end of the show.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
This movie starred Denzel Washington, Sarita Chowdhury, Roshan Seth, Sharmila Tagore, Charles S. Dutton, and Joe Seneca. It was made for $5 million. Box office made $7.3 million. Took about 3 months to make.
Nice.
Principal photography, rather, not including research and writing.
Right.
Seth, why don't you read us our summary?
After being exiled from Uganda, Mina and her family settle in Mississippi, where they help run a motel with their extended Indian family. Demetrius, a young black man who owns a carpet cleaning business, meets Mina after a minor car accident, sparking an immediate connection. As their relationship grows, they face resistance from both of their communities over their interracial relationship. Meanwhile, Mina's father, Jay, longs for returning to the home he lost. When Jay is finally able to travel back to Uganda, he comes to understand that home is not a place, but a feeling in Mississippi Masala.
Very nice. I gotta be honest with you.
Please.
I mentioned last week when I announced we were going to do this movie that I thought this was a rom-com. I did. And I believe I said, ooh, something light maybe?
Mm-hmm.
LOL. And so I watched this movie in 3 parts, not because I felt it was too long, but just due to the busyness of the weekend, as we talked about at the top of the show, about being together and going to Jersey and writing and all the things. And so I upon like the first 15 minutes, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not light. This is not rom-com-y. And then as it continued, like on my second part of watching, I was like, okay, like I'm getting the romance, but I don't think this is funny. And then the third part, I still felt the same. And so there were things that I very much liked about it, and then there are things that I'm conflicted about it. But how did you feel watching this? Tell me about your experience.
Well, so on last week's episode, as I edited the very ending, you were like, yeah, this is known as a romantic comedy. And I just took it, what you said, completely. And then I've seen a couple other people say, like, yeah, it is a romantic comedy. In our Discord, back to Rashawn, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
he said something along the lines of, like, I've never finished it. I've never gotten past the first 15 minutes. And I was like, oh no, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I went into it more prepared for this to not be a light, fun rom-com than you were. And I gotta tell you, I was floored by this movie. Absolutely floored.
In what direction of floored?
The good direction.
Really?
Yes. I will now tell people that this is a romantic comedy
Huh.
because I found so many parts of this to be really, really funny. And I believe that Mira Nair, the director, is intending for this to be very funny. It's just that the funny stuff is sandwiched between like real drama and like
Yeah.
high stakes. I would understand someone feeling like the comedy in this is like too few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm thinking about when the couple get married, Anil,
Mm-hmm.
and then it cuts to them like on their wedding night, and he like goes to put his arm around her, and she just like swats him away. There was
Yeah.
a lot of little funny moments like that
Yeah.
that really made me laugh. And I thought that, I don't know, I just thought that it was funny in a non overt way. Like it was very subtle. I don't know. I kind of feel like she had her cake and ate it too. Like she was able to put in this funny stuff while also telling a very serious story.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I think for me, like you said, you saw these comments and so you were expecting that. When you're in a headspace and you think you're going into one thing, and I
Yes.
wasn't tricked. I'm not saying that. We say that a lot, like tricking the audience. Not saying that at all. But I just thought I was going into something different.
Yeah.
And I received something very different. And that's okay. And that is okay.
You went in for the Mississippi and you got the masala.
Well, I mean, I would have been fine with the masala leading, but once I finished the movie, I was very interested to hear and learn more about Mira and her process and her other films and her as a filmmaker and her origin story and her and Suni working together because they've written together and they've worked together on multiple projects. And as someone who is part of a duo, as you are part of that duo, I'm interested in duos.
Yeah.
And I also was like, I'm someone, well, I think a lot of us feel this way, like people write what they know. And so I was like, okay, whose story is this? Where were we inspired by this? Did you find anything interesting? Did you end up doing any research on your own?
Mainly, I didn't look. I mean, I didn't look incredibly far into it, but
yeah,
I'm familiar with her as a director. I saw her film The Namesake.
Oh, okay.
From 2006.
Yeah, and her and Suni worked on that.
Probably like close to 2006 is when I saw this.
Yeah.
That film stars Kal Penn and Irfan Khan, and is kind of along the lines of the themes of this movie about, traveling, who you are, family relations, identity, between different countries. She has a few films that I've been meaning to see for a while. Monsoon Wedding is one. And then her first film, Salam Bombay from 1988.
Yes.
So what I found out is that after she made Salam Bombay, she used the proceeds, and this is right on her letterbox, like you can see it. She used the proceeds to establish an organization for street children, called the Salam Balak Trust in India, which is still running to this
Mhm.
day.
Yeah. Pretty
So I was
amazing.
like, all right, I like that. I like you.
I know. I'm just like
Yeah.
really fascinated her growing up in India and then coming to applying for colleges in the States to get a scholarship. And Harvard is the one that gave her the most money to
Yeah.
go. And that's where she meets Suni. And from there, they start a friendship and then end up working together. And always the kind of feeling of, okay, I'm a brown kid who's
Mhm.
living between two communities that are accessible to me, but there's also like hard lines in between them. And so, upon her curiosity and research, she came upon the Asian expulsion
Right.
by Edie Elman in Uganda in 72. And so, this is what kind of led the inspiration for this film. And let me dive into this and learn more about it.
Right. I had no idea about that. No
Yeah,
idea. I mean, I was
same.
familiar with Ugandan general turned dictator Idi
Yeah.
Amin.
Mhm.
But I didn't really fully know what he did. And I
Mhm.
gotta tell you, Mississippi Masala, watching it for the first time in January of 2026, was a little different, I think, than watching it, a couple years ago. With everything that's happening in this country of, expelling people who were
Yep.
born here or have been here for a long time or, have all these ties to this country, I was like, I don't know, it was a very different kind of eye-opening experience. And I think maybe that's also why I was so impressed with it. Because I don't know, I felt like it juggled like really, really touchy, complicated subjects.
Yeah.
And for being, God, what is it? How old is this movie now? 34 years old, 35 years old, something like that. For being that old, I felt like it held up in a lot of those messy, complicated areas pretty well.
Yeah. And this is where I'm like conflicted because I felt like we have three stories happening at once.
Yes.
And while they all can kind of support each other, I felt that we were a little stretched thin with trying to show all. So we have like the exile from Uganda, we have a coming of age story, and then we have the lives of Black and Indian communities in the South. And all of that does work together, but there was just times where I felt like when we're doing the romance that it felt rushed and the dialogue wasn't always giving enough for me, even though there are scenes between Sarita and Denzel that are so hot. You're like, oh my god, whoa, wow. And we're taking time with those scenes that are
Yeah.
very intimate. And then other times when it's just them talking back and forth, I felt it was like a little disjointed. And then I really, really just felt for Jay.
Yeah.
Roshan Seth's portrayal of Jay and his longing for Uganda and his friend, and when he goes back there, and oh my gosh. So yeah.
It is a lot, and I agree with you that it's a lot, and I also agree with you that some parts are a little thinner than others.
Yeah.
And this is an American film. This is about America, I think. It's also about, a group of people from Uganda. And it's about Indians coming. But I think that this is a movie about America and the experience of a lot of people, where they come from, why they come here, what it's like once they're here. But despite being an American film, it reminded me of every episode that we did during India August last year, where we would say, there is a whole lot in here. And the idea of the Masala film, which is a movie with a lot of different flavors and like a lot of different things going on, I guess I just kind of forgive it. Like I was going to say, I don't want to say I forgive it, but I do. I did. I was like, you know what? This is a Masala. There's a lot happening. and I just kind of have to hold on and see where we go. I mean, when Demetrius sues Anil, I was like, I did not see that coming. That's crazy. But also, I think, like you said, the romance is rushed. So to me, that always is going to remind me of like Romeo and Juliet, right? Which happens in like a couple days. And then also, Romeo has a big problem with Juliet's cousin.
Right.
So that's kind of like this.
Yeah,
and then,
this is a kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story.
Yeah. You have Paris in Romeo and Juliet, who's like the suitor, and he's the guy that she should be with, which is like the guy that she goes dancing with in this. And then they meet at a party.
Right.
So I think that like the framework of this is supposed to be Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Except they live in the
Right. They choose to go off on their own and do their own thing and live. Yeah. Denzel, it's his month over here on Movie Friends. What do we think of him as Demetrius? We talked about him in Mo Better Blues last week. So this is the next movie after that.
Yeah, I mean, chronologically.
Yeah. Yep. This is like a romantic role for him that I don't know if he's played a role like this after. What do you think? What did you think?
Well, this has been such an interesting grouping of movies for Denzel.
Do you think this has been a good lineup to not, I don't want to say represent Denzel, but in that way over on our show? It's hard to do like only 4 movies and then next week
I know.
we'll round up the month.
Every themed month, we don't just say we're going to do the top 4.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always a little interesting mix, And so far, I can't speak for next week's movie, but so far this has almost been Denzel as the supporting actor.
Yeah.
Because Training Day is a 2-hander. I would definitely put Denzel in lead actor because he is just... When I think of Training Day, I picture like, you ever see those strongman competitions where they'll put like a bit in their mouth and they're like towing a giant truck just by their teeth? That's how I think of Training Day with Denzel.
Okay.
Like Ethan Hawke is the main character because we start and end with him, but he's pulling that thing.
Well, he could be main character and then Ethan Hawke is like protagonist or the hero.
And then Mo Better Blues. Bleak Gilliam is the main character, but that's closer to an ensemble hangout movie. And then this one, where he's definitely not the main character. So that's kind of an interesting, just, the way that the chips fall, that we're seeing Denzel in not leading capacity all the time, but he's still really good. Like, I thought he was really good in this. I loved his little hat for his cleaning company. I loved when he's arguing with his dad. His dad's like, oh, I talked to Alicia and she's going to come to my birthday party. He's like, why'd you do that? And his dad is just like, I'll do whatever I want, kid. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yes, sir. Like, I liked that. I liked everything about this. And Denzel and Sarita Choudhury in this are just like the 2 most beautiful people that you've ever seen.
I watched the movie. I start preparing my notes. I'm like writing down who's in it, reading about Mira Nair. Get to start learning about Sarita Choudhury. I have been watching Sarita Choudhury in And Just Like That.
I was going to ask you.
Which I'm like, oh my God, Seema, are you kidding me? Oh, what? It's like my head exploded. And this isn't the first time this has happened to me while watching movies and realizing who someone is. But this is her first role, her first film role.
Wow.
Mira saw her in a print ad and just liked her vibe and look. And so she spoke to her casting director in England and was like, find me this chick. And so she did. And then had her come in to read. And Sarita's like, I don't think I can act. Like, this is not what I'm supposed to do. And Mira's like, no, I picture you for this role. And she wrote the role of Demetrius with Denzel in mind.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you have a Denzel who's this, like, very experienced actor at this point, accomplished. And then you have Sarita who's, like, green,
Yeah.
greener than green. And you put them two together. And I think at times she's awkward, but it works for her character. And then their actual physical chemistry is very strong.
Yeah. Yeah. There were a couple of times, maybe 3, where you could hear her accent slip, but it didn't bother me. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't like this movie. Throw the whole thing out, you know?
Yeah, garbage.
I gotta tell you, I believed every part of her in this movie. Like when she's like, she just seems very dark and brooding, but then at the same time, you know, she meets Demetrius and now she's like, I just love you and I will run away with you and I don't care if we have any money. And I was like, you know what? Thinking back to Mo Better Blues, when I was like, why would 2 women bother?
And you're like, here I am. Why would anybody run away with a carpet cleaner?
Right. And then I'm like, well, it's Denzel Washington in 1991. So, you know what? I get it. I get why, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed her. I'm pretty surprised to hear that this was her first role. I didn't think she was anything less than believable, like I said, in just about everything.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could walk into a real location and encounter this person.
Yeah.
You know, like slight chip on her shoulder. She's still nice to her family, but she's got things brewing underneath. I mean, you know, she comes right out and asks Jay, you know, like you basically abandoned your friend, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's something that she's had since childhood that she's wondered. And he's like, you don't remember anything. And she's like, I remember the look on his face when he came before we left.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has a lot of things that she has to work out for herself, you know, in her relationship with her parents.
Yeah, and we learn that they've moved around a lot. She's 24 and she's just working in a motel. That's the family business, is what they're doing. Her mom works in the liquor store. And so there's a little bit of like, I'm trying to find my place and how I can work in this community while also now living as an American, but also identify as this. And then you can't help but feel what you feel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you did not find this movie funny?
Not in the, I'm labeling this as a rom-com funny.
Okay.
If someone was asking me for a rom-com recommendation, I'm not recommending this. I like this movie more after reading about it and after learning about Mira. If someone wants to sit down and watch a rom-com, I don't think they're going to do research and read about it afterwards. I don't think if you're curious about it, then fine. But this isn't going on like the rom-com list. I would just put this in a drama. Just keep it as a drama.
See, I would keep it as a minimum a romance.
Well, for sure, romance, but I'm taking the calm out. It doesn't mean, because think about, there are some dramas and romances where there's definitely parts that are subtly funny.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't think this
Pride
is a
and
rom-com.
Prejudice.
Never seen it. Always surprised. Come on. You're going to catch flies with that mouth.
It's very romantic. Anyway, in Pride and Prejudice, there's a scene where a character talks about potatoes.
Oh!
It's very funny.
I love potatoes.
I'll just leave it at that, I guess. Like, to me, you know, we open up and she's got 25 gallons of milk in a cart that look like they were dropped in by a crane machine.
Yeah.
I'm laughing already. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Not everything has to fit into the category you put it in and be exact. But if someone came to you and was like, hey, Seth, can you recommend a romantic comedy? I want something that the feeling that we want when we watch a romantic comedy. You're not going to recommend this. Maybe
If
you
someone
will
if someone
because,
asked
you're a
me
film guy. The Friend, not recommending.
if someone asked me for a romantic comedy, I would say watch The Other Woman.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Love The Other Woman.
Yeah.
I saw The Other Woman in theaters.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Why?
Because
Really?
I was with some people and was like, let's go see a movie. And we landed on The Other Woman and I laughed my butt off. Oh my gosh.
Yes. I watched this one on a plane. I don't remember which vacation that was, but I think I've only seen it once.
Cameron Diaz, Leslie Mann, Kate Upton.
Kate Upton, yeah.
Anyway. that would be genuinely, if someone was like, name a rom-com, I would say watch The Other Woman.
Right. I mean, but okay, The Other Woman versus this, don't you feel like they're in two different categories?
Yeah. But I would also say, like, hey, Mississippi Masala is a great romance movie that also is very funny at times. And like, I don't know what your layout for this episode is, so I don't want to jump around.
I've laid the groundwork, friend.
Well, okay, there's the Three Stooges in this movie.
Well, yes. Yes.
Who are just absurd.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They were the comic relief, I think.
Anil?
Anil, yep.
Chevrolet?
Pontiac.
And Napkin.
Conti Napkin. Mm-hmm.
And I literally Googled, is Napkin a name in India? Because I was like, this can't be his name. Napkin, that can't be his name. But like just their hair, their outfits, their demeanor, the fact that they're like always together, even though they're like fully grown men, especially Napkin. I was like, Napkin seems
a lot older, right?
15 to 20 years older than these other
Napkin
guys.
Also, to me, came off just like a little more disconnected than the other two.
Yeah. It's like he's like the guy who like hangs around.
Right.
But still, like the three of them, I mean, just everything. Like when Napkin goes to talk to Denzel and Tyrone, and he's trying to make sure that they're not going to sue Anil, and he's like giving him tea, and he's like, it's all of us people of color against the white people.
Right.
I thought that whole thing was funny.
Yeah, I mean, like the approach of it was funny. And then, of course, what's being said, like, okay, we understand until, right, the irony inside of the individual communities of, well, you can't date someone.
Right.
You can't date a black man. You can't, she's Mexican, right?
Like, she's Mexican, yeah. It doesn't make a difference.
Yep.
Yeah, colorism is an interesting topic that I only have experience with as someone who's 50% Mexican.
Right.
And so, in terms of my features and my skin color, the white half won out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Except for in the summer, I get very, very dark, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have near the experience with it that Indian folk have or Black people have. So yeah, I mean, I'm no expert on colorism, but I was really impressed. This movie just really goes for it. I mean, towards the beginning of the film, she says to her mom, like, Mom, you got to face it. You have a darkie for a daughter.
Yeah.
And this idea is presented later of you can be fair skinned and poor, or you can be dark skinned and have a lot of money, but you can't be dark skinned and poor. Right. So yeah, I mean, the two of them writing this movie, they're not shying away from this, and they don't just introduce it once in like a funny little conversation. Like they keep going back to this idea of not just being Indian and not just being Black, but how Black are you? How Indian are you? How much have you integrated, beyond the color of your skin? Now, how much have you integrated into America?
Well, right. Like I'm Indian, but I've never been to India. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're just like us. We
Mhm.
originate from Africa, but we've never been to Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
And then standing in the middle of that road is Jay,
Yep.
who is Ugandan
Yeah.
and identifies with and longs for Uganda, despite being from Indian heritage. He considers himself, rightfully so. I mean,
Yes, of course. He was born there.
I don't think Jay is delusional in this.
No.
His friend, Akello, he considers him to be his brother. And I loved how their story unfolded over the movie, because in that opening, I had no idea what was going on.
Same.
No idea.
Same.
Akello comes to him and he's like, you went on the radio and said this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, uh-oh, this guy's trying to get this guy in trouble. Come to find out, he just gave a briefcase full of money to the cops to get him out of jail. Like, the way that their story unfolded, I thought was like the best, really the best. Yeah. And then you see them as little boys and they're brothers. They're like brothers, and Jay, Jay, I was going to say Jay doesn't see color, but truly he's Ugandan. And so I love it. Like I said, it's complicated. All of these topics are very complicated and thorny and messy, and they just go right in, and show it to us from a lot of different sides.
Mm-hmm. To stay on Jay, Rosh and Seth, I wanted to see more of him, even though we get his story in the beginning. We understand how they got to Mississippi, and we see him writing letters like obsessively so he can get his land back, like just wanting to get this court date. And he finally gets it, and he travels to Uganda, and he also tells Mina, like, hey, we're going. Like, at this point, their relationship has gotten out. It is blown up within their communities. We need to leave. We're going to Uganda's the answer, right? Like, home. This is home. As I remember it, it is the answer. I have to go. He travels by himself. And when he learns that Okello died, I gasped. And I felt like my heart broke.
Oh, it's horrible.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't know where we were going in terms of Jay and his story for this movie, but that like gutted me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the end of a movie right there.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's so much happening.
Yeah.
Were this the only story in the movie, it would still be like, just as powerful.
Yeah. And
yet this is just one resolution to 3 different stories that are happening.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, like, on that note about him being like, we're leaving. It reminded me of in Dilwale Dahanya Lajenge, where, our main character is allowed to go on this trip before she gets married. And then everything goes south. And her dad is like, okay, well, guess what? Now we're all going to India.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're leaving England. Like, this is not where we're from. Everything has just not worked out. And my kids are losing their sense of self. So we're moving back to India. And it's the same exact thing that happens here. Like, the dad sees everything that's happening with his daughter. And he's like, well, I was already going to Uganda anyway. Now we're all going.
How do you think, and I'm fine talking about the end here, doesn't mean it's the end of discussion, but how the movie ends. Do you feel that it takes away from the romance aspect?
No. I think that in the end, the story is about 2 things happening with 2 pairs of people at the same exact time, with one person in both pairs, which I know sounds very convoluted, but at the same time, Jay and Demetrius decide to leave all of their money behind for love. And then Jay and his wife decide the same thing that Mina decides with Demetrius, which is, wherever you are is where I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, the line of home is where the heart is and my heart is with you, I thought all that was great. I mean,
what about the visual representation of we are ending with Jay and the people dancing in Uganda, and then he holds that beautiful child, and the child puts their hand on his cheek.
This is the part where I mean, when we find out that his friend has died, that was very, like you said, it was heartbreaking and like, oh my God, like I did not know. I just didn't know where this was going. But when that young child puts his hand on Jay's face,
oh my gosh,
I just like lost it. I was like, I was crying and like I just couldn't believe how beautiful and how simple it was, you know? And for Jay to feel like I'm home and these are my people and this is where I belong. And look, they accept me back, which is what he says, you know, they were not accepted in America.
right?
And even with like their family, there's all this contention of like, oh, like I own this motel and I own this motel and she runs a liquor store and isn't that weird? And it's not like he's a lawyer, you know what I mean? And he can't practice in the United States because, you know, as a lawyer, you have to be certified to practice different places. And so for him to get that feeling of acceptance that he never got and like belonging that he never got for, let's see, they leave in 72. And I think that this is supposed to take place in current day.
Yeah.
91.
90
or 91. So, you know, that's almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Of being a stranger.
Right.
So I loved it. I mean, I was like, I just couldn't believe it. And then that it didn't end in just a touching way. You know, he could have like gone to his friend's home and it was very somber. And then a little kid gives him a hug. This is like in the middle of, you know, music and a dance. And so there's, like Masala, there's all these different feelings happening. And it's very overwhelming, like all at once. And then that's where it ends. And sometimes I've said, like, you have to wait till the movie ends to be like, oh, this is the movie I was watching.
Yes. That is exactly how it went for me.
Right. So
I
it's
went
like,
in thinking one thing and I came out thinking a totally different. It was put into a totally different headspace.
But it is very romantic. And I think both you see romance from across two different age groups. The one are the young people who are like, hey, I'm going to steal this van that technically belongs to the bank. And we're going to run away together.
I think Mina says something along the lines, or maybe it was Demetrius. He says, got to go back in 2 weeks. And she's like, that's essentially like, that's 2 weeks problem.
Right.
We'll deal with that when it happens.
Right. And then the older couple where he just, you know, he writes her a letter and tells her, you know, home. And, it, you know, I guess you could look at this and say like, oh, this is cliche. I didn't think.
No, I don't think
I think that that's
cliche.
truly the realization that he came to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for his wife, Kinu, I feel it took him a while to get there. So I'm sure it was difficult to have a partner who's obsessed with what once was.
Right.
But she was supportive, and for him to finally have that realization is good. You always want your partner to reach clarity on what they're working through.
Right, of course. Yeah, some type of resolution.
Yeah.
To this thing where I can't remember if this was said in the movie. I think it was, where the Ugandans have a feeling that the Asians who have stayed in Uganda have kind of like taken all the money. You know, they've made a lot of money for themselves and they're not really contributing back or whatever. And so for him, he's not like, oh, I just like lived in Uganda or like I had a house, or he had like a nice house and he had a lot of money and all that stuff was seized. So for him, it's like, my home is Uganda. I built a life there. I built a successful life there, and all of it was taken from me unfairly. I want it back.
Sure.
You can't blame him.
Sure.
If you were kicked out of New York tomorrow, you know, and you and Anthony's house was just like seized by the government,
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, if the people who seized it were out of power, would you be like, I don't really care about it?
Right. Like, yeah. Right.
You might not.
Yeah. A
But
little
you can
different.
understand
Oh, I
by the end of
completely
it.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved how everyone is like, all this trouble you've caused, on both sides, both families and both communities. Where it's literally like, they didn't do anything. They literally didn't do anything.
Well, that, and also, like, is he going to sue? Is he not going to sue?
But that only came about because of the blowback, you know?
Right.
So it was like there's that montage of where everyone's on the phone.
Yes.
And they're all just gossiping and creating these bigger problems. And I thought that was so smart to show, like, hey, a lot of the perceived trouble in the community is just that. It's perceived. You know, if the Three Stooges hadn't barged in on them in a hotel room, my goodness, then they would have just been like, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And what's the big deal?
Demetrius's family, I just want to talk about them quick. Willeben and his brother Dexter.
Great name.
I love it, Willeben. So good.
Willeben, it's a great name.
And I just loved him as a character, too.
Mm-hmm.
And his aunt. And I love that. I love when Demetrius brings Mina to the family barbecue birthday. I thought that all of that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Dexter, the brother, we want more for him, wearing the clock around.
The big clock.
Big clock.
Yep. Another connection to last week's movie because Flavor Flav opens Mo Better Blues.
Yes. Anyway, not much to say. I enjoyed them.
Mina is like, I'm going to go see if I can help in the kitchen. And then it cuts to her in the kitchen, just mixing this bowl of what appears to be potato salad. And I wanted to reach right through the screen and be like, Mina, it's mixed. You are pulverizing whatever is in that bowl, man.
Hey, listen, sometimes you just have to keep your hands busy, in an awkward situation. Although she didn't feel awkward. She felt so natural. She did not.
Oh, yeah. Mina is cool.
Mina is cool.
Yeah, Mina is super cool. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Early in the film, we get all this milk for a wedding, whole milk and buttermilk, and they leave the supermarket. This has nothing to do with this movie, just so you know. The supermarket is the Piggly Wiggly. Have you been to one of these?
Yeah.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been.
Are you sad?
No, but when you... I'm curious if this is an American thing, a New Yorker thing, a Long Islander thing. I'm curious how far this attitude spreads, you know? When you go to a town to visit, maybe a new state, maybe another country, I don't know. Do you find yourself wanting to go to their supermarket and their gas station?
Always.
Is that an American thing? Is that a New York thing? Or is that a Long Islander thing?
I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, you know, the want versus the need, because when you're traveling, you do have to go to the gas station. You do have to go to the grocery store. But like anytime we travel, like I love, like we were just in Iceland in October. We were in those grocery stores. We were walking around. I love looking through every aisle.
Yeah.
I like being like, oh man, I could buy cat food in Iceland. Why would I buy cat food in Iceland?
Right. Why do we do it? It's so stupid. It's like
so
we should be going to museums.
We do
and
that
forests,
too, though.
And we're like,
that too.
Right, but it's like you're driving by and you're like, oh, in A and P. I wonder what they sell in an A and P. And then you go in and you're like, pretty much what they got. Different kind of off-brand soda though.
Right. Or like, what are the snacks like?
Right. Like, all right. I see how you make bagels here. You know, like, well, what do I care?
I don't know why it also feels so different. Like if you go into another name brand store and you're like, oh, but I bought this in a Macy's in North Carolina versus a Macy's in New York or a Target or whatever. Yeah. I don't know what that's about, but yes, I feel the same.
Follow-up question on that, and then we'll get back to the movie.
Okay.
If you had to name a supermarket, because I was thinking about this, Piggly Wiggly, right? There's other ones. Food Lion,
Yep.
Kroger,
Yep. You have the Price Chopper.
Price Chopper, which is
Yeah.
now Market 32.
Market 32?
Don't even.
What a rename.
Back home, there was Pathmark,
Oh,
Stop
rest in
and Shop,
peace. Yep. King Cullen.
Cane Cullen.
Do you remember Edwards back in the
Edwards?
day?
Of course I remember Edwards.
Yeah.
What would you name a supermarket?
You're really putting me on the spot.
I
Like,
know.
I love naming things.
I know.
I don't know. You know.
Can I give you my name that I just came up with 3 seconds ago?
Yeah, of course.
Droppers.
Droppers?
Droppers.
Okay.
And the whole
Is there a tagline? Yeah, is there a theme?
The whole theme is, right, so shop till you drop.
Is this a food store?
Oh, this is a supermarket.
Okay.
I'm thinking like green and yellow are the colors.
Mm-hmm.
But the logo is a little hand holding a dollar bill that's maybe in the shape of a grocery bag. And like the hand is going in like this.
Uh-huh.
And it's called Droppers because we're always dropping our prices.
Wow.
But also shop till you drop.
Right.
So like the dropper deal of this week is half off on oranges. Droppers.
My first thought was that I would do like a artisanal bougie market called like Michelle's Market.
Michelle's Market, sure.
And it would be small and you can only get a certain amount of things there.
And everything costs a lot.
I don't want it to, but I can't help
but you know
it.
well.
You know?
Look at the two different. You're doing Michelle's Market. I'm doing Dropper.
Well, you know, but in all reality, like I would want everyone to be able to shop there and to be accessible and all the things. But I was like, okay, alliteration, Michelle's Market.
Mm-hmm. Michelle's Market.
Yeah.
What about the Mitch Sitch?
I like that. But the Mitch Sitch would be like a food truck or it would be a pop-up.
Okay.
A food pop-up. I always wanted to have a food pop-up called like Hummus in My Tummus. And it's just all types of hummuses.
What about a food pop-up called Humness, Mr. Tumnus? And it's Mr. Tumnus from Narnia.
I've never seen Narnia, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know that reference, but I'll trust you on it.
There's a fawn named Mr. Tumnus.
Oh, cute.
Okay, can we talk about Pontiac?
Yeah, let's go to Pontiac. My favorite outfit of the movie. Well, I liked a lot of Mina's fits too, but Pontiac when they're in Biloxi, really, when they're mini golfing.
Mm-hmm. Mina's outfits really strike me as so laid back.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think that until we see her outfit for the wedding, which is like the nice like two-piece Indian thing with the I don't know what you call it, but it's the thing that wraps around. Is it a sarong?
Oh, I don't know.
But the rest of the movie, like she just seems very laid back, down to earth, you know, still looking good, but in comparison with Pontiac, who is just like to the nines. When we're introduced to Pontiac, he has a cigarette holder, like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
How did you feel about this? Like, what the heck? How did you take him?
If we're going to refer to them as the Three Stooges, they were like the comedic relief, the banter. We're following them around. Like I said, you texted me a picture of the three of them mini golfing in Biloxi. They're on vacation. I think it was Napkin who said, like, hey, chill, we're on vacation. You know, like happy thoughts, right? And Pontiac's outfit is, it's so colorful. He has like these baggy khaki pants, this belt. It has like a silver belt buckle, this t-shirt with a car on it. I don't know what it said. And then this like oversized printed long sleeve shirt over it. We're layering. And then he's holding a cigarette. And I was like, man, this guy's cool. And I added it to my style inspo folder.
Oh my gosh. You are taking style inspo, I think, from like all the wrong places, but
or the best.
Right.
I mean,
Pontiac and Butterbean.
let me tell you, color looks great.
Pontiac had the air of like a guy who does cocaine all the time. Like Pontiac, he was just like a little on edge, but I don't know, like not crazy dangerous. But then he's the one who keeps being like, look, there's Mina with that guy, with that carpet cleaner.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think that we're supposed, I don't know if we're supposed to love them or not.
I think you are. And I think, like you said earlier, like there are really funny parts to this movie. And I think two things can be true. I wanted the three stories that we are in, I wanted more from all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like these three guys, I want more from them. I want to hang out with them more.
Right. Pontiac interrupts the father at the wedding speech. I was like, get this guy out of here.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And then Napkin, he's wearing like the little baseball cap with the flip, the front flipped up, like he's a little rascal. And like I said, this guy's like minimum in his 40s, but this is 1990 40s, so he looks like he's in his 60s.
Right.
Like, oh my God. Did you find, now in romance movies, they always talk about a meet cute.
Yes.
How did you feel about this? First they meet at the accident and then at the dance club. Were you like, oh, here's the romance part?
Well, I knew this was the romance part. I mean, it is so clear. This is an obvious meet cute for me. I didn't mind that it was an obvious meet cute. Yeah. But they meet because of the car accident that occurs between Mina and Demetrius. And then they're at a family friend's wedding. And then Mina gets to go out with, it's either Harry or Henry. And I apologize that I'm blanking, but he seems like a dud. But everyone's like, oh, he is like the one you want to go out with within their community.
Harry Patel.
And so then when Demetrius is at the same club that Mina goes to, it's like automatic they connect. That seemed a little rushed for me, especially when they're dancing. And I had a question for you. Yeah. So they say, hi, how are you? Okay, Mina sits down with her date. And Demetrius, I understand, like he sees Alicia, woman he used to date who's now back in town. And so it could have been like, I want to like make her jealous.
Sylvester Artiste III. That also had me laugh. I was like, everything about both of these, they're clowns.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is would you go up to another girl who's sitting at a table with a guy where it looks like they're on a date and ask her to dance?
If I was Denzel Washington, yes.
But you're not Denzel Washington.
So no.
I
don't know. It depends. I feel like younger Seth would.
Even if you thought like they were on a date?
Yeah, date's not married.
Wow. How would you feel if you are what you think are on a date and a guy approaches and asks your date to go dance and she gets up and does it or goes on the dance?
I mean, I think that's happened to me.
Really?
Let's see.
I was just like, wow.
Left me while hanging out. I mean, I've told my story about how in one summer, 3 girls were dating someone else while they were hanging out with me in a row. 3 different girls who did not know each other. It's not like they got together and coordinated. Hey, let's do that to this guy.
It's your week. You're up.
So I think so.
I don't know. I just felt like that was.
I mean, if I'm on a date with someone and she gets up and goes and dances with someone else, I'm gonna be like, I guess this is not going.
Right, I guess
well as I thought.
Right.
But like with Harry Patel, you know, I think that he's definitely interested in Mina, but they're friends. You know, they like know each other. It's not the same as like, oh, I'm setting you up on a date. Meet him at this dance club, And then halfway through, she gets up and
No,
dances
I
with someone
know.
else,
I know. I don't know. I don't know. I felt like could have been more interested in her than she was in him, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like, and then she gets up. She doesn't even know Demetrius, and the way they're dancing, I'm like, wow. I don't know if I've ever danced with a guy I barely know like that, and I can
Well,
tell you,
that's what I
I
thought.
haven't.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were getting at.
Well,
Is they're like, hey, you want to dance? And then they're dancing like, it's prom night and you've been together for 3 years.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean, hey.
The chemistry, the
The
attraction.
chemistry is off the charts.
Yes.
I mean, when they're walking and then they have their first kiss.
At the bayou.
I was like, this is nuts.
This is great.
This
is good.
This is nuts.
And talk about taking its time.
It took its time so much that I thought it wasn't going to happen.
Wow.
The pacing of that kiss is the pacing in a movie when you think they're going to kiss. And then, a little fat kid runs up with a snotty nose and is like, Mister.
Right. Or a bird flies by and is
Someone's
loud.
towing your car. I don't know. That's never happened in a movie before, but like something, like they get splashed by a puddle and then they run away laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, should I remember this? I'll put it up there with like some of the best on-screen kisses.
Yes.
Yeah. And it felt real.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a bunch of cuts.
Nope.
It's just like, all right, you two, you're going to walk, you're going to stop, and then you're going to have your first kiss. Good luck. And it was like, wow, I feel like I just watched someone have their first kiss.
It feels like we're voyeurs in that moment instead of just watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When Mina explains what masala is,
mm-hmm.
and Demetrius says, oh, you hot and spicy, huh? And then goes, I was like, Demetrius, come on, man.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Hold
playful.
it together.
That's playful.
Every white person in this movie is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Except for maybe the Piggly Wiggly guy. And he is still kind of annoying.
Well, do you think when Demetrius goes to the neighboring town to advertise his business and Mina shows up to talk to him because he won't take her calls or whatever.
Yeah.
And he finally convinces the older woman to take her car, and she goes, I guess you convinced me. She wasn't terrible.
No, not terrible, but it is, I think on purpose, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that the movie is taking the position of Napkin in that scene where he's like, hey, it's all of us people of color have to stick together because you're either white or you're us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think that it's going that far, but I thought that it did a good job of showing like a wide range of microaggressions and prejudice that people wouldn't even recognize within themselves as being prejudiced. The woman who owns the restaurant where Demetrius's father works, the only way that she relates to him with other people is, well, we helped him get a bank loan.
Right.
And then as soon as she finds out that this thing has happened, she's like, well, I guess I'm calling the bank.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you're just waiting. Like you're just,
I want to get you.
This person's success is due to you. And then because you have the power to take it away, you're going to, just because. Like that is, that woman is probably the villain of the movie, if there is one. Beyond Anil, he sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, I thought it was pretty well done. I don't think that all white people are terrible. I don't think that anyone of any group is all terrible. But I think the movie does a good job of exploring some of those things that you might not experience or you might not recognize as a white person in Mississippi at the time.
Yeah, and also seeing an interracial relationship that's not involving a white person.
Right. Yep. I loved that line. Demetrius says, racism, or as they say nowadays, tradition, gets passed down like recipes. The trick is you got to know what to eat and what to leave on your plate. Otherwise, you'll be mad forever. And then she responds, and you'll never eat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you have to eat some tradition. You have to take some of what's passed down to you. But you can't starve by just turning away from everything. But you also, if you just take everything, you'll be angry all the time. I love, like, that's a wise thing to be coming from young filmmakers.
Yeah.
You know? It's also so heartbreaking for, going back to Jay in the ending, when he's talking with his friend and he said, Africa is for Africans, Black Africans.
Right.
And he says, after 34 years, that's like all it came down to. So it's just, it's very, yeah, it's so heartbreaking and troubling, staying with this story just from Jay's perspective. And then later on, when he says, people stick to their own kind, you're forced to learn that as you get older. Because that's what happened to him. His friend and his brother is basically like, look, you got to go. Like,
right.
This place is not for you. And it's like, oh, but I was born here. And then the fact that the first place that he goes to when he comes back to Uganda is to see Okello.
Of course, he's been writing letters and has heard nothing from him.
And then to find out that Okello died like the year after he left.
Yeah.
Like very shortly after he left. So he's been dead the whole time.
He's been dead the whole time. And also, like, you have lived this life and in your head you've built up a narrative of I'm writing these letters and I haven't heard of my friend. And I'm sure you can't help but like, we left off in a bad way, but like, I hope he is doing well. And I wonder what he's doing and who he's become. And then to realize it's like, does that, all of those stories you wrote just disappear?
Right. The embarrassment of coming to terms with lying to yourself is a complex emotion.
Yeah.
That is like just so, you can't repeat it, you can't replicate it. This idea. It's the same thing that happens when you find out like, oh, I've been in a relationship with this person, but like they've been cheating on me the whole time. Or, I had this job and I thought I was going to get promoted, or right. And like you're then forced to see the timeline of events as they are and not just how you perceive them. It's hard. It's very hard. It's horrible because again, Jay acts racistly towards Demetrius. He says that he respects freedom for his daughter, and yet he is part of the case against them. So it's not like Jay is perfect, but we like Jay throughout the movie.
Yeah, your heart breaks for Jay.
Yeah, and so for him to go through all these things. Last thing that I wrote down is when Jay is in Uganda, but we hear the music of America, and specifically, it's the harmonica that the guy plays while in the room with his wife.
Yeah, at the liquor store. Yep.
And I was like, this is like masterful filmmaking to me. The scene looks great. It's a beautiful location. The sound is great and it brings us back to a place that we were. And then the acting is really great. Like all cylinders are firing here in this one little thing. And it brings us back to this idea of like not just being two people at once, but three things at once.
Mm-hmm.
And for Jay, that is Ugandan, Indian, and American. And standing, mentally at a three-way crossroads of all three places, he realizes that he's not Ugandan, he's not Indian, and he's not American. What he is in love, and that's what matters. So when he gives the line, home is where the heart is and my heart is with you, I don't think it's a cliche. I think it's a really important realization that a lot of people should come to. Like, what are you? What is your identity? And what do you want out of life? And if that isn't tied to like people that you know, you got to reassess your priorities in life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think everyone ends up happy in the end?
Nobody's happy. So.
Okay.
And I mean, generally speaking.
Right.
We have moments of happiness.
Right. So do you think that
Mina and Demetrius end up together? Are they endgame?
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's like when the movie ended, I'm happy. I'm like happy for Jay. I'm feeling for Jay in that moment. I'm not thinking about Demetrius and Mina personally.
Because we see a few different little moments with them.
Yeah.
Spinning around in fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I think we're supposed to believe that they.
Yeah, I mean the movie doesn't tell us if they do or if they don't.
Yeah.
But it ends with the sentiment of, home is where the heart is, like we keep saying. Mm-hmm. So I think it's to assume that, yes, love will prevail in any shape or form.
Very, very last thing.
You said that like 5 last things before.
The actor who plays Idi Amin in this movie played him in a previous movie.
Oh.
He's reprising the role. Can you imagine being typecast as like a dictator?
Wow.
That would suck, right?
Yeah. Well, we have one guy for the job.
Right. Yeah, you're the Amin forever, I guess.
You're the Amin guy. All right, let's get into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and
My happy was Sarita's look. I loved Mina's gorgeous mane, her hair, her outfits. I'm loving her whole vibe. My crappy was Okelo's death. But
wow.
that was very pivotal for the story, for that to happen and for Jay to come to that realization. Maybe not. I don't know. Could he have gone and had it out with Okelo? And if he did, that's a different movie. And I think I would have liked to have seen that movie too. What about you?
My happy is how many times this movie surprised me.
All
the different plot points that we just mentioned. Like I said, when he sues for $50,000, I was like, I get it because you're about to lose everything. But at the same time, never would have seen this coming. My crappy, Mina and Demetrius have a showdown where she chases him to another town and then chases him to a gas station.
Yep.
I did not feel the writing in that scene was particularly strong. Therefore, the acting in that scene was not particularly strong.
Yep.
And I was like, I wish I had just watched this scene on mute and filled in because it's clunky. So
Yeah. Well, we've talked about how we feel about the movie. Let's hear from some strangers on the internet in a segment called Half Star, 3 Star, 5 Star. Half Star, 3 Star, 5 Star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and app where you can log, rate, and review movies. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating you can give a film, and goes all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating you can give a film. And on this show, Seth reads our half-star review in an accent, an impersonation. I personally don't have any requests for you this week. Is anyone or any particular accent calling to you, speaking to you?
No.
All right. Let's go over to our Wheel of Voices then.
Wheel of Voices!
I'm going to spin the wheel. Hey, the great Gonzo. Can you please read our half-star review for Mississippi Masala?
Oh, yeah, Michelle. Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Now, I should tell you, I'm the great Gonzo from the original Muppet movie.
Yes.
Not the great Gonzo from later films. Wahoo!
I liked your impersonation of that version.
I don't do a really good one. Also, I kind of sound like Little Nicky.
You do.
I do.
Have you been practicing your Little Nicky impersonation, Gonzo?
No, this is just how I sound. Little Nicky stole this voice from me.
That makes so much sense.
Thank you. You're the first person to agree with me.
I'll get on the forums. I'll let the people know. All right.
So what do I do?
So, in your green room, we provided you the half-star review. And so if you would be so kind to read it for us, we would be forever grateful. Did you get the half-star review?
Oh yeah, I did. I have it right here.
I know it's pretty short. There were only 4 to pull from. So,
Wow, that probably indicates a well-loved movie.
I think so. So it's probably why you feel like you almost missed it, because it is so short.
Okay, here I go. Set my people back centuries. Couldn't even get through 20 minutes. I was sinking in my seat.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder what people this is referring to.
I don't know. Hey, Seth, what do you think
Yeah.
they're referring to here?
I mean, I could see a white person writing this, but
right.
set my people back. A Ugandan?
Maybe. I don't know.
A supporter of
There was one review that was just the poop emoji.
Oh, come on.
So, I mean, but again, only 4 half-star reviews to pull from. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, the great Gonzo. You're welcome.
All right. Our 3-star review says, not bad, but also not at all mind-blowing. An interesting enough premise gets us through, but I didn't really feel much chemistry between the leads. Some of the writing could have been sharper, and by partway through, it feels like the movie has already given everything it has to give. Still some fun in here. Willa Ben is a great name.
That's right. It is. That's funny because partway through the movie, you don't even realize all that this movie can give. So.
Yeah. 5-star review says, a beautiful film that explores culture, the themes of belonging, and interracial love. It's such a simple film, but it says so much. It does not pretend to be something greater than it was, and that is what gives it its authentic charm.
I agree with that.
Ebert rated it 3.5 stars.
Okay.
And he said, Mississippi Masala has the benefit of showing me people I had not met before.
Very good. I like that idea.
Yeah. Well, this has now become my least favorite part of the show because there's anxiety tied to it.
Okay.
Okay. So we rate things here as a movie, schmovie, or film. We rate it 1 through 5 stars and give our thoughts on the runtime, if we recommend it or not. We give a shout out to whatever part of the film's practical filmmaking stood out to us. And before we record each episode, we write down a guess for what we think the other host will rate the film. And every time we guess correctly, we get to add a point to our tattoo tally. And whoever has the most points at the end of the year gets to pick a tattoo for the other host. And they will then get that tattooed on them without knowing what it is first. So far, it's 0-0.
0-0.
No tattoos are happening yet.
And you want to keep it that way.
Or I want to win, so I tattoo you.
Right.
Ideally. Would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay. For you, which I wrote down 3-star movie.
Oh, wow. Nowhere near close.
Yeah, figured.
I gotta tell you, as I was watching this, I was like, this is great. This is cool. I'm loving this. I'm laughing at a dog coming and taking a shoe while everyone's inside. That's funny. And then by the final 15 minutes, I was like, this is incredible. 4.5-star film. Almost a 5-star film, which I could not believe. But like I said, there are a couple scenes where the weaknesses are pretty So it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but I was so taken. I was so touched. I learned about Indian people in Uganda. I didn't even really think that, hey, crazy. So yeah, 4.5-star film for me. Loved the runtime. I would have taken another hour of this movie, really make it a full epic. Show us some more historical context. Show us some more cultural context. What are these people's lives like as an Indian community living in Mississippi? Show me some more wedding stuff, or what their jobs are like, or what are you doing with all that milk? Loved it. Loved the runtime. I recommend it wholeheartedly. First as a romance, then as a drama, rom-com, very far distant third, but it is funny. And then as far as practical filmmaking, I appreciated that every environment felt lived in and real, even just down to when he goes to the school at the end and there's all these children running out. Everything felt real. Nothing felt like a set. So for you, I put down 3.5-star film.
Shit. Shit.
Did I do it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
No.
The first.
Oh no.
I take the lead for the first time this year.
Oh no. Oh no. But oh yes. Rating this a 3.5-star film. Like I said, I went into this expecting and wanting something different, and I came out with a totally different feeling.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. But because we do this show, it allowed me to explore Mira and her filmmaking process and learning about her. Two things that I loved learning about her is that she started off making documentaries, and I feel like she has the eye for it, and you see that in this movie. Also, she likes to start her filmmaking days with yoga. And so cast and crew will all do yoga together. And I love that. I just love that. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the movie. But what I'm getting at is if I watched this without it having to be as an assignment, I would have watched it, forget it, and never have even talked about it again.
Yeah.
But because we're doing this for this show, it allowed me to research it and brought a different respect level for it.
Right.
I might recommend it to certain people, but I'm not recommending it to my friend who's just looking for a rom-com. I don't think they will enjoy it for that. As far as the runtime, I thought it was fine. And like you said, I would have liked just a little bit more with what we were given. I felt like some of the dialogue was clunky. A lot of it felt thin. And yet some things felt so good, like the first kiss scene. So I would have liked things distributed differently. Distributed. There you go.
Yeah.
And practical filmmaking, like you said, everything was for most part a set. I love that we are in Uganda and seeing the beautiful greenery, and they filmed it where Mira was staying at the time. So I really enjoyed that, learning about that. And she met her, so she was working with her then husband on this film, and they were separating. And then while researching, she meets Mandami, and they marry in 91.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't mention.
Mahmoud. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That part.
Yeah, everyone's favorite new mayor of New York City.
Yeah.
Mamdani.
Yeah.
Is the son of Mira Nair.
Yep. Yeah. And Mahmoud Mamdani. And so the fact that she met her husband working on this film, I can imagine has a special place in her heart.
Right.
That's it, Seth. That's it. Wow. I cannot believe you got a point in the tattoo tally. Now I start sweating.
Hey, if you started sweating while listening to us,
oof.
Well, God. Don't let us know, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you're listening. You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Look, folks, you've been listening for such a long time and you haven't sent us an email yet. This show is not called Movie Talk. It's not called Movie Experts. It's not called Movie Michelle and Cinephile Seth, okay? It's called Movie Friends. The point of this show is to hear from other people. Michelle and I talk to each other enough, okay? We want to hear from you. Send us an email. You know what I would love to hear? And you don't need to write a whole big thing. I want to know when you started listening to this show. I want to know what episode you listened to that said, I'm going to keep coming back and listening to more. Because that's something that I'm always very curious about.
Same. And I'm also curious how you found us.
Like we see download numbers, you know, but it's not like for individuals. So it's not like, oh, this person picked up at E.T. or
Right.
This person hopped on when we talked about Clueless was your first episode. And you've been listening to us, you know, here and there ever since. Let us know. Send us an email. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month gets you access to ad-free episodes, our Patreon-only Discord, additional episodes and series. You get to vote on monthly episodes and quarterly themes. So this whole month, Denzel month, that's because someone suggested it, other people voted on it, and now we're doing it. So if you want to be part of that, the programming of this show that you love listening to, look, it's $5 a month, okay? They're getting rid of the penny. For goodness sake.
Didn't they already get rid of the penny?
You know, they're still around.
Oh. Anyway,
Prices,
they're going.
Anyway, prices are fluctuating everywhere, okay? Gas is up, gas is down. But you know the one thing that doesn't change? That's right. Movie Friends Patreon. I'm running out of selling points.
I feel like I should just mute my mic and just let you go. Because when I chime in, I can imagine that's pretty annoying.
No, what are you talking about? Please. I'm out here dying. Throw me a life preserver. That's right, folks. The reason you should sign up is because the price doesn't change.
We are so consistent.
All right. Speaking of consistency, what's next week's episode?
We're ending Denzel month with a patron-voted film.
Very exciting.
Yes. So we are going to be talking about Devil in a Blue Dress from 1995, directed by Carl Franklin, streaming on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen it.
I have also not seen this.
Wow, what a month, man.
I know. This has been great because I love Denzel. I've always loved Denzel, and now I get to watch 3 new movies of his.
Yeah.
4 for you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Wow. I'm excited.
All right. We'll see why they liked this one.
We will.
Well, hey, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth.
And thank you very much for listening. And remember, folks, home is where the heart is, and my heart is with you. Till next time, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.